You're showing your unmentionables.
That's foul language you got going there.
She's so pretty. She growing her. Oh, she's cold. Your girl's cold. Isn't he so majestic? And she's getting her feathers back, so she's looking so pretty. As pretty as a turkey can be, huh? Look how majestic he is. Oh my. Oh my. So what we're doing today, I made that feeder for the chickens, and it has been a lifesaver. Yeah, because now we have fat, happy chickens. Yep. I went ahead and made them a water, same concept of it. But anyway, I decided, since we now have 2 turkeys, that I need to make one for these 2. Now that beautiful barred rock right there, he's so pretty, but he's just too big for my hands and he's mean. So I had to separate him. So I have to figure out what I need to do with him. Why you keep raising, why are you fluffing out your feathers? I'm not even gonna take her. I'm not. So anyway, let's go in the garage over here. I'm gonna keep an eye on this little turkey because no, he's gonna stay. Okay, let's go in the garage and see what we can find to make one of these for the turkey. For the turkey lurkeys. Okay, so I found this stash of bolts and washers and stuff, and I think I found what I'm looking for. A couple of washers. Yep, these are all gonna work. It's always good to have a stash of these bolts and nuts and washers. This one actually is my dad's. We have a couple of things in the garage or in the shop, but this was closer. So I also found this. I just dropped that nut. Okay, I also found this old planter, or bottom to a planter, and this shorter can that's going to fit perfect. And I've got my drill, my paddle bits, a couple of bits in here. I'm just going to put it together. Okay, I actually went with the 1-inch paddle bit, and it's probably actually going to be a little bit bigger than that. I'm going to take my little bucket here, and I'm going to go probably about right here. I don't want to be all the way on the bottom, but I want it to be about 1.5 inches, 2 inches from it. So we're going to kind of go. So it makes a pretty little hole. I will probably actually put 2 holes, like a figure 8 almost. Because I have found with the see, there you go. That's a much better hole, because if you make the hole too small, the feed won't come out. So then I'm going to go from there. I'm just eyeballing it to another one. It does not have to be perfect. If I try to get 4 of them on a bucket, just so it's evenly distributed. Now we only have 2 turkeys, so it's really not that big of a deal, but with all the chickens, I definitely wanted feed all the way around. Whoop. That's what I get for trying to look at the camera. Kind of went beside it. Okay, so got those little holes. All right. sweep that up in a minute. Okay, I'm using my hoarder cable, I think is what it is, drill. My husband bought me this for Christmas, and for the you ladies that like to do handyman stuff, handy person stuff, these are amazing because they're smaller for women's hands. I have short, squatty hands, and it's really light, even with the battery. It doesn't have this big honking battery that makes it 20 pounds. But anyway, these, I mean, I am in love with this thing. The one that he bought me had 2 batteries, and so that's nice. I always keep one on the charger while I'm using the other one. But anyway, so we're going to, hi Rusty, we got interrupted. Okay, because I'm using the bigger bolt, I'm going to use the bigger bolt. And right here, the cool thing is it gives you just like a little guide right here where that little circle is. We're just going to drill right in the center. Okay, so we were kind of close to the center. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just a little hole in the bottom. We're going to take the in there, and we're going to do the same thing right in the center. Oop. There we go. So when I tested this out with my bolt, it's a good tight, like snug fit, but I really don't want to have to thread it. So, good thing we're working with plastic, right? So I'm just going to make this just a little bit bigger with the same bit. See, now we've got a good, a nice fit there. So that means that we're going to have to do the same thing to the bucket. So let's do that. Try that out. Nope. Get that sucker closer to the center anyway. Ooh, perfect. Okay, so now we have all our components. Oop. Everything. We have the bolt. I couldn't tell you what it is. It was in the bolt bucket. We've got 2 washers. They're different sizes. Doesn't matter as long as they fit nicely. Doop. There. And we have a nut that will fit on my bolt. Okay. Let me move everything over. So this is how we're putting this together. We'll put the bolt through here. Now if I had made the hole too big, I would put a washer there to kind of, we're going to do that anyway. It reinforces it, especially because this is plastic, that it won't just pop through, because we're going to be spinning this a lot. Okay, so then probably the easiest way to do this, bucket upside down. I'm going to put the other washer in here, so then that way it kind of gives you a little bit of a, you want it to be able to spin easy. Then we're just going to put that nut right on there. And it doesn't have to be super tight. I mean, if I was really worried about it, I would go get a couple of wrenches. I'm not going to, because like I said, you want this base to spin on it
And the reason you want that is because, I'll show you here in a little bit, but once you put the feed in, you want to be able to go out there and just kind of move it around, and it'll disperse all of the feed into here. So, finger tight works good. Just, it'll loosen over time just when you go to refill it. Just refill it. Just retighten it. But as you can see, it's not exactly the center. It's okay. No big. Okay, I'm not real picky on what I'm going to feed the turkeys. I am going to give them some regular chicken feed, probably a little bit of corn, and we got a little smorgasbord going over here. Oh, I didn't put the lid on the goat feed, and some scratch. I'm just going to kind of mix all this together. I also try to put, it's upside down, oyster shell, just for their gizzards. Of course, they're kind of free range, so I really don't have to do that, but I might put a little bit in there anyway. But let's get some scooping done. Now my scoop got taken in. I use one of these little cups, but it may take a while, so I'm just going to use one of the buckets. We're going to scoop a good chunk of corn out. Actually, I'm going to mix this before I put it in there. And then, good serving of pellets, egg layer pellets. And then, let's give them some scratch just to kind of round it out. Yeah, there we go. And then we'll give them a cup of this in there. I mean, like I said, they're free range, so they can get their grit otherwise, but just to be on the safe side. Then we're going to mix all that up. Okay, I'm not going to fill this in here. I'll take it out there and see what happens. Hang on just a second. Okay, so the trick here is, hi Miss Thing, we're going to pour this all in here. Whoop. It's not mixed all the way, it's fine. I could actually put more in there or just kind of eyeballing it. This will just be a continuous feeder. Put the lid on top just to make sure that no rain or anything gets in there. And here's where you want the swivel. You just swivel it around, and all of that feed just comes out the sides, out of those little holes that we made. That's why I said it doesn't have to be perfect. I'll probably go ahead and fill it. I was just kind of checking to see if it's going to work. But now the turkeys have continuous food. They're not having to wait for us to come out and give them feed, and half the time the ducks beat them. they come out and eat all their feed. So anyway, hopefully this will get them fat and happy and help old girl get her feathers back. I don't know what's going on with her, but they're growing back. So anyway, there's my DIY. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video if you like the video, and hit the bell so you get notifications. And we'll be doing a lot more DIY stuff like this. So anyway, God bless.